Happy Tuesday. You can do it. We can do this. We are going to start our Tuesday off with a ninja video, and it is going to be called Building a Smart Business.
Hello and welcome to the Ninja Path. My name is Larry Kendall. I'm the author of Ninja Selling, and our goal is to help you increase your income per hour so that you can have a life. The way we do that is to help you focus on the 3 success keys in your life: your mindset, your skill set, and your actions that you take on a daily basis. This particular session is a ninja mindset lesson on how to build a smart business. Let's start with the definition. What is a smart business? We believe it has 3 ingredients. Number 1, you're building a business that's sustainable. It's what we call evergreen. That means that it will sustain and be evergreen regardless of the market cycles that we're in. We're in a very cyclical industry. And I can remember ninjas in the Great Recession in a down market were having their best years ever because they had built a smart business that was sustainable. Number 2, they have high net income per hour. I remember meeting a woman in a large metro area. She was the #1 agent in that city, and she had done $2.1 million in gross commission income the previous year. Unfortunately, her net income was $150,000. She had managed to build a big business, but I wouldn't call it a smart business. Number 3 is that you have a life and a career. It's not just all about work, but you actually have a life, and it's sustainable in the sense that you could see yourself doing this as a career and not burn out. You may have seen the news feed last year from Inman News about a 10-year study of 12,000 top producers. What was interesting is after 10 years, 75% of them were earning less than when they started. What happened? Well, they burned out. They did not build a smart business. So what are the keys to building a smart business? We believe there are 2 things. Number 1 is you need to be on purpose versus on accident. And number 2, focus first on the people who know you. So we're going to go a little bit deeper on each of these. Let's start with being on purpose. To be on purpose in real estate, you need a system. Now, the Ninja Selling system is a user-friendly system that will give you predictable results. And if you can do something that is a system and it'll give you predictable results, you can be very on purpose in your business and in your life. It's kind of like an on-purpose ninja takes their clients from point A to point B in a straight line. Very minimal amount of effort to get there. On accident realtors, a lot of times will get their clients from point A to point B, but it's not in a straight line. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of accidents. There's a big investment of time and energy to really accomplish the same amount. And the key to it is, again, having a good system and working the system. At Ninja, we say TSW, the system works. If you work the system will work for you. And it's really the core or the foundation of building a smart business. The second principle is your business strategy. We would encourage you to focus first on the people who know you, the people who know you, like you, trust you. Let's take a look at some conversion ratios. Now, these come from the National Association of Realtors. There's a lot of different ways that you can build a business. One way would be to buy a mailing list of names and start a cold direct mail program. The statistics are you'll have 1 closing out of every 2,000 names. Another thing you could do is cold internet lead generation. Your odds there are 1 out of 1,600. Cold phone call solicitation, making phone calls. Now that's tough today with the no-call list. But if you did do that, the statistics are 1 out of 500. You could door knock. There the numbers are 1 out of 100, except that you might have to knock on 400 doors to find 100 people home to have that one transaction. All of these are ways to build a business. We don't think they're particularly smart because the return on investment of time and money is so low. Let's take a look at what happens when you get in what we call flow with your friends. Out of every 50 interviews with friends, you'll have 1 closing. With your buyers, it's 1 out of 9. Your past sellers, it's 1 out of 4. And look at the referrals. You'll close 2 out of every 3. Now, if you want to build a smart business, what would be the smartest thing you could do as far as where you invest your time and your money? Invest it in people who know you. Let's talk about our ninja mindset for a minute. Mindset number 1 is to have the mindset of the ownership transaction rate in your market. This ranges anywhere from 10% to 20%. What that means is that out of every 100 owner households, those households will do 10 to 20 transactions this year. It's a fact. The national average is 15.2%. What we find is in very active markets, it's close to 20%. In higher end markets, retirement markets, resort markets, it's close to 10%. The fact is, out of those 100 owner households, there's 10 to 20 transactions that are waiting there for you. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to access those transactions. Your second mindset is a referral mindset. You see, these people not only are going to do real estate, but they know people who they could refer to you. In fact, they know 4 people on average who will move this year. And your mindset is, how do I access and earn these referrals? This comes from a study by Harris Interactive. They surveyed American households and found that most all of them know at least 4 people who moved last year. Many of them know more than 4. So let's do the math on this. If you take the 100 households that are going to end up doing, let's say 10% transactions, that's a 10% transaction rate, that's 10 transactions right there. But the real opportunity is in the referrals that they have available to you. 100 households times 4 referrals, that's a potential 400 transactions, 400 referrals. Now, we know we're not going to get all of those, but the fact is we're swimming in abundance of business. If we add those together, the 10 transactions that they will do, plus the 400 transactions that they could refer us, if you just take an average commission of, let's say, $8,000 for closing, many of you are in markets where it would be much, much higher, but just at $8,000, that's over $3 million in commission income that is surrounding you. So why wouldn't you focus first on the people who know you? Ninja mindset number 3 is that I'm swimming in abundance of potential business. My mission is to access and earn this business. I will focus first on building relationships with these people who know me. Now, what we know is this: we will also do business with strangers. I mean, we're going to meet people at open houses. We're going to meet people on the internet leads. We're going to have people call us on signs. But our core business, the focus that we need to make, is on the people who know us. This seems so simple, and yet only 6% of the realtors in our industry choose this path. We call it the ninja path, or the road less traveled. Where do we come up with that number? Let's take a look at a consumer housing trends report conducted by Zillow. They studied 13,249 households, and one of the things they asked was, did your agent contact you after closing? Amazingly, 74% said they never heard from their agent ever again. 20% heard occasionally, defined as once a year, and only 6% heard from their agent on a consistent basis, defined as about once a month. This is the 6% we're talking about. This is being a ninja, being part of that 6% who works primarily on staying in touch with the people who know us, like us, and trust us. Now, it's interesting. I showed this slide at the Colorado Real Estate Convention last year, and I had a manager of an office challenged me on the slide. He says, well, first of all, I don't believe that we're that bad. Number 2, I don't believe anything that Zillow says anyway. And I said, well, this is the report. And he says, well, that's fine, but I'm not a believer. Fast forward 2 hours later. The keynote speaker is a guy named Lee Cockrell. He's the retired executive vice president of Disney. Lee was in charge of Disney World. He's giving this wonderful speech on leadership and customer service. And all at once he stops right in the middle of his address. He says, can I give you a commentary or an observation on your industry? He says, my wife and I have purchased 11 homes in our lifetimes. We've never once had the realtor connect with us after closing. I was looking for that manager because the statistics said 6%. In Lee's case, it's 0%. He went on to say this. He says, I'm interviewing 2 or 3 executives a week who are looking for housing. By the way, they're all looking for multi-million-dollar homes. If my realtor had stayed in touch, I could have made their career. What an incredible referral source. But his realtors, those 11 realtors, never followed up, never stayed in touch. So the hot new thing is technology. You probably get the news feeds about some new technology that you should buy. It's the shiny new object, or some lead generation system, or some new marketing program. We would advise you to be very careful of the shiny object syndrome, SOS. Instead, focus on the people who know you, like you, and trust you. Some people in our industry right now say we're no longer in the real estate industry, we're in the technology industry, or we're in the marketing industry. Well, our belief in Ninja is that we have never been in the real estate business. We've always been in the relationship business. It's about relationships. And real estate is simply a vehicle that we use to help our clients get from the lives they have to the lives they dream about. That's our mission. We hope that if you follow this philosophy, follow this path, you'll build a smart business. Thank you for joining us.
Remember, work on your goals poster. That way you can visually see your goals. It's always a lot easier when you can visually see them. Statistically stating, you can accomplish them better if you can see them instead of just keeping them in your mind. So go ahead and get all those crayons and markers out and just make something that you can see every single day so that you can be focused on your real estate goals. Another thing is to start your day with a positive affirmation. When you wake up, write down 3 things that you are grateful for and that is positive in your life so that your brain starts out in a positive mode every single day. So that will be our Tuesday, and we will see you back here tomorrow.